Hi guys. So if you feel it in your heart and you think you would like to support my channel, go check out the Patreon page down below. Have a wonderful meditation. Thank you.
Are we ready to meditate with Corey? Do you have your favorite pajamas on? Is the light just right in your room? Do you have your cuddly teddy with you? Right, then, let me tell you an update about Henry the Ice Skating Pug and what has been happening to him since the last story we made. Crazy stuff, my friends, crazy stuff. Now, I don't know if you remember, but Henry was a pug that liked to ice skate, and he was very, very good at it. Henry met a new friend called Julia, and Julia wanted to learn how to ice skate, and Henry was over the moon happy because he liked Julia. She was a very cute pug, and he was excited because he'd always, in his biggest, wildest, magicalest dreams, wanted to ice skate and do couples skating. He loved to watch it on TV, remember? Well, you never guess what happened. Mr. Bill, Henry's owner, had been taking him regularly to the dams so that he could practice with Julia. They had gotten extremely good. They practiced all winter long. The sad thing was, spring was starting to come. The snow and the ice melted away, and there was no more ice skating for Julia or Henry, until something crazy happened. Mr. Bill had been videoing Julia and Henry and all of their adventures. Every time he videoed them, they got better and better and better, to the point where, no lie, they would get crowds and crowds of people watching them practicing their ice skating routines. Everybody loved them. Mr. Bill thought, these guys should be famous. They should be on TV. Mr. Bill sent a video to Ellen. Ellen has a TV program, and she has all different characters. She has movie stars, singers, and normal everyday people on her show all the time, and it's a fun show, and Mr. Bill loves it. But the problem was, Ellen was in America, and Mr. Bill was in England. He didn't really expect to hear back from Ellen, but, he thought, let's give it a go. You never know. Until you actually try, you never know. And you know what? If you don't ask, you never, ever receive. So you always have to ask. The worst thing that someone can do is say no, right? They can just say no. And that's not so bad. Mr. Bill thought, nothing gained, nothing lost. If they say no, they say no. The thing was, they didn't say no. Ellen loved Henry and Julia. She was a very big, big animal lover, and she fell in love instantly when she watched the videos of them ice skating. "Get them on my show," she said, "immediately, as soon as possible." Get them quick before anybody else gets them, because these guys are gonna be famous. That's what Ellen said. Mr. Bill got a phone call all the way from America. They told him that Henry and Julia were very impressive, and Ellen loved them, and they were invited to come on the show next month, and Ellen would pay for their flights, and Ellen would pay for anything that they needed, and Ellen was super duper excited. Mr. Bill couldn't believe it. He could not believe it. He phoned Julia's owner and told Julia's owner all about it. They had a meeting. They got the dogs together. They told the dogs all about it. Henry and Julia were over the moon. Henry said, "Julia, this could be it. This could be me making my dream come true. Couples ice skating on TV. Oh my goodness." Henriette and Julia couldn't practice because there was no snow in England anymore. They danced, they span, they did their moves in the grass as much as they could whenever their owners took them out for walks, but they couldn't practice ice skating. They just hoped for the best, hoped that they would remember all of their moves. You see, what was really cool was Ellen had arranged it so that there was an ice skating ring on the show. The recording studios had all different departments, and all different studios had different things in them, and one of the things had an ice skating ring, and they were going to let Henry and Julia skate there for the show. The flight to America from England was very long. But Henry and Julia were so excited that they didn't mind. Mr. Bill was beside himself. He didn't mind. And Julia's mum, Catherine, well, she loved Ellen and she'd loved her for years, so she was super excited. So even though the flight was very, very long, nobody cared. Everyone was so excited. And you know what was really cool? When they got off the plane, there was a man in a hat, like a chauffeur hat, that was holding up a sign that said, "Henry and Julia the Pugs for Ellen Show." Now, how cool is that? They had their own sign. They got to ride in a limo to the studio. The limo had cocktails, snacks, water bottles. It was very, very fancy. And all the windows were dark, so you couldn't see into the limo. He felt very, very famous. When they got to the studio, they met lots of different people. They seemed to meet everybody but Ellen. Apparently, Ellen was busy getting ready for the show. They took them to the studio with the ice skating ring in it, and it was packed. Every single seat was filled. Just for the rehearsals, every single seat was filled. Julia and Henry were a little bit nervous, but they knew they could do it. They had 3 rehearsals. The first one was a little bit sketchy. Julia slipped and fell at one point. "Oh, let's hope we don't do that in the real show," she said to Henry. "We'll be okay, Julia. We'll be okay. We'll do it. We can do it. Don't you worry. You're fabulous. We can do this." He made Julia feel so much better, but she was very nervous, especially after the slip. The second rehearsal went very good. The third rehearsal was excellent. They were ready. Cameras, action, the music came on. They started to glide. They span, they twisted, they did jumps. They slid across the ice effortlessly. Seconds passed, no mistakes. Minutes passed, no mistakes. Every single move that they did together was in sync. Julia was dressed in pink with sparkles all over her outfit. Henry was in grey with a pink tie. They looked amazing. It was perfection. Perfection. Ellen did something very funny. She got onto the ice and waded her way through the ice in her shoes, slipping. Everyone was laughing. She couldn't wait to meet Henry and Julia in the middle of the ice. She brought them the biggest bones that they'd ever seen. Both of them could barely hold the dog bones in their mouths. Fantastic, fantastic! You guys are amazing! Oh my goodness, you are going to take the world by storm, she said. This was one of the best moments of Henry's life. He could barely believe it. He was trying to take every second in. Julia almost peed herself. She was so excited. You never guess what happened. The show was over. They flew home. Everyone was tired but very happy. 2 weeks later, just 2 weeks later, Mr. Bill got a call from a very, very important person. A person connected to Disney. Yes, Disney. Disney on Ice only wanted to hire Henry and Julia to travel the world with them. Travel the world with them. Mr. Bill and Catherine could not believe the opportunity. It was a very big opportunity. This would mean that at least half of the year, Mr. Bill and Catherine would be traveling with their dogs, Henry and Julia, because they were famous. Ice skating for Disney on Ice, my goodness! How famous is that? You know what was really sweet? Mr. Bill actually liked Julia's mum, Catherine, very much. They both happened to be single. They both happened to be around the same age, about 55 years old. They both loved pugs. They both loved ice skating. And they both loved their dogs very, very much. And now they had an opportunity to spend at least 6 months of the year together, traveling with Henry and Julia. Do you think they fell in love? I think so, don't you? Now, how cool is that? Okay, my little friend. Lay down. Let's dream about ice skating tonight, shall we? Close your eyes if you haven't done so already. It's time to start to use your imagination. Can you imagine going on the Ellen show? Can you imagine skating for Disney on Ice? Can you imagine being famous just like Henry and Julia? Keep your eyes closed, use your imagination, and see yourself skating all over the world. India, Africa, Zimbabwe, London, Paris, Rome, Italy, Ireland, the Netherlands. Can you imagine skating all over the world? Let your body start to relax. It's time to wind down now. Time to let your body get sleepy. Relax your toes and your feet. Take your breath and breathe all the way down to your toes. You can whittle your toes if you want to, and then tell them with your mind that it's time to relax. Let your ankles and your knees and your hips, your entire legs get heavy. Your tummy, your ribs, your heart, your lung, and your back get heavy. Your fingers, your elbows, your shoulders get heavy. Your neck, your head, your face gets heavy. Your toes, your knees, your hips get heavy. Your stomach, your ribs, and your shoulders get heavy. Your arms, your elbows, and your fingers get heavy. Your nose, your lips, and your ears toes, your ankles, and your knees get heavy. Your hips, your belly, and your back get heavy. Your shoulders, your elbows, and your fingers get heavy. Your eyes, your nose, and your mouth get heavy. Your ears, your temples, and your tongue get heavy. Everything is heavy. Your toes, your knees, and your hips get heavy. Your tummy, your back, and your neck get heavy. Your head, your face, and your throat get heavy.